Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. What it looks like to me is that you may be holding yourself back from something that you want, or even a feeling that you want to be experiencing. This looks too like holding on so tightly to something that's bothering you or something that you're overthinking about to the point where you feel like it's really weighing you down. This can also be overthinking too, second guessing yourself, things like that. Maybe even having these feelings in relation to stuff that you can't control. Surrendering. Allowing yourself to be present in the moment, wherever that takes you. The Wheel of Fortune is a reassurance that the universe is going to come through for you and show up. Looking at Jupiter and Aquarius here. Maybe having luck with something that you're doing. Yes. When it comes to you doing things that are related to your purpose, why you feel you're here, what you came here to be doing, how you came here to be living your life, there is a lot of support that you are receiving to encourage you upon that journey and also to help you out too. I'm seeing something going on that's connected with your stability, maybe in relation to what it is that you're doing, in relation to your path. I'm seeing you also making progress with something. Building something up, it seems. You have a feeling about something. Something that you want to move towards. But you may be trying to figure out how to harness the feelings that you're having while still kind of thinking through what you're doing before you're doing it. Rather than just falling into a mode of automatically doing something or impulsively doing something. I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, I want to harness like the highest vibration of this feeling, this energy that I'm experiencing, and figure out how I want to manage this. It's about transmuting it in a way that is going to definitely benefit you when it comes to what you're going after or who you're connecting with. You do have an opportunity. You look excited about this. I'm seeing you be intrigued, to say the least. This may actually be helping you. I'm seeing something that looks appealing to you in some way that you're thinking about, how do I move towards that? Because you're motivated. You feel excited about something. You feel something is even calling you. You have this feeling. It can be an opportunity for some of you. It's a person that you are connecting with. And I'm seeing you be in a space where you're trying to figure out, like, how do I manage this? How do I take this energy that I'm feeling? How do I take these vibes that I'm feeling and use them in a way where they're going to be productive and beneficial for me? Because I see an opportunity for you that you look very, very excited about. And I'm seeing at the same time, it looks like this is also helping you move away from something. It's like, kind of like this. Something comes through that inspires you. And because you're having this moment of inspiration where you're seeing something where you're like, that really resonates with me, I'm really connecting with that, it's showing that something else is like pale in comparison. is the notion that I'm getting. So this is kind of a nudge to tell you, hey, there are more options available for you. Like, look at this thing that you're connecting with, this thing that you feel a magnetic draw towards, and look at what you may be sticking around with, that your heart really isn't in it anymore. So it's a moment kind of showing where you are, and also what's potentially available for you. Because I'm seeing something come like right up close to your face and be like waving around, hey, I'm here. And now it's just a matter of figuring out, like, how do we make this opportunity last? This is definitely food for thought about other areas of your life too. As I said before, because you are connecting with something that feels very vibrant to you now, it's showing you where there may be other areas of your life where when you're checking in, you're like, why do I keep doing this? Or why had I been continuing to do this when I don't really feel called to be a part of it anymore or to participate anymore? So it's helping you in that way, showing you what it feels like to be connected and to be called. And that you can have more things that are like that. You do have the opportunity to move on from something, but you may not be in the space yet where you're ready. Let's see. There's something about knowing that you could move on if you wanted to, but at the same time, something's going, like, you have the opportunity, something is coming through and being like, here is your opportunity to exit this situation or to move forward with a situation that's like no longer working for you anymore. But there's this hesitance that I'm seeing here where you're like, I don't know about all of that. I don't know if that's definitely what I want to be doing. You feel stuck on something still. Once you move through whatever this is that you feel stuck on emotionally, after you move through this energy, I'm seeing you're going to be moving very quickly, but it looks like something needs to be dealt with prior to you moving forward with something. Something going on in the heart space for you is what I'm seeing. That's why this opportunity to move forward doesn't look as appealing to you yet, because something needs to be dealt with. I'm seeing, again, something going on in the heart chakra that needs to be addressed. And then once it does, I'm seeing you like move through a process very quickly. And be like coming out in a transformational energy. There is doubt though. Definitely doubt. But I'm seeing this be self-hindrance. I'm not seeing this be objectively what's happening within the situation. I'm seeing subjectively. You may not be willing to risk something yet because you're like, what if I get hurt? And I'm seeing you move into a space of self-doubt. Remember too, like, this can be a moment that you're having. It doesn't need to be like 6 months of this going on. For some of you, maybe it is, where it's like you have a clear opportunity to move forward. I saw 8:44 on the time. You have a clear opportunity to move forward with something that's calling to you that you feel inspired by, and the opportunity to figure out this situation and again make something last. But at the same time, I'm seeing you be in a space of fear, but I'm not seeing this be this hesitance or you being like, I'm not really sure about that. I'm not seeing this come from so much of an like authentic space, high vibrationally. I'm seeing this come from a space of like pain, fear, stuff like that. Like the risk of being hurt again, or having to go through something difficult, or being like, it's no use, even if I try, I'm just going to end up getting hurt, or that person's going to leave, or whatever it is. But I'm seeing something that if you were not in this mind frame, you would be taking this risk, taking this opportunity, but because of you being in a space where you're like, it's not going to work out anyway, it's kind of like you're not taking the shot, you're not even taking the chance. As I said before, this can be happening within your thought process. This may not be the decision here. This just may be psychologically what you're going through. And you can come out and make a different choice if you want to. Yeah, it even seems like a situation where you're in where you're like, well, what's familiar to me, even if I know I'm not satisfied by that, I'm going to stick with that rather than taking a chance to maybe find fulfillment elsewhere because that's too risky and I don't want to risk getting hurt. And I'm just seeing you be in a space where like it's very self-limiting. And that can be a subconscious thing too. And I mean, even if it is a conscious thing, there's no right or wrong here. It's just about whatever it is that you want to do. There's no judgment. Yeah, I'm seeing you working on this. This part of yourself that limits you or that doesn't want to take risks or doesn't want to take chances or doesn't trust. I'm seeing you've been working on this. Okay, so we are making progress. Maybe this is a big energetic stop for you. Because you know how we'll have themes that come up that it's like really a tug of war with like you and your psyche and trying to figure out what's going on with your ego and what your intuition is telling you. This may be something that you've been struggling with, that you've been trying to figure out, and it does look like this has been being addressed. This part of yourself where you limit yourself or you feel like it's inevitable that you're going to get hurt or that things aren't going to work out. Or that things can't remain stable for you. I'm seeing that you've been working on something quite consistently, trying to sort it. And I'm also seeing that there's been a lot that you've been picking up on and learning about too through this process. You may be, whatever progress this is that you've been making, whatever this stuff is that you've been working on personally within your life, you may have people around you that you're like somehow teaching or like a role model for. You may be like sharing what you're working on. I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, I know that this is a work in progress. However, you may feel like you are maybe a little bit further along than other people where you're like, oh, I've been in that place before. So like this may be helpful for you. So again, you may be sharing or there are people that are learning from you. You may feel a bit of pressure because of this. Learn from the work that you're doing. What this looks like to me is that through your hard work, determination, consistency, showing up, you are going to be passing through a karmic test. You're learning how to pass through this. This is a lot of personal work that you are doing. A lot of personal work, a lot of shadow work, a lot of healing. Yeah, I'm getting the notion of learning what it's going to take to complete this cycle for you and feeling like it's very challenging, but also feeling like you're learning what you need to do to get through to the other side, to complete this. I am hearing mission. On the other side of this, looks like there are other people that you may be working with or opening up into a collaboration space. You may also find that collaborating is going to be definitely helpful to you. Definitely. I'm seeing other people be integrated, or at least another person or another energy. somebody that you're going to be having conversations with, I'm seeing information be passed back and forth. It seems like this is what helps kind of bridge the gap and get you onto the other side. Like you even realize something through a conversation that you have. I'm looking at some strong Leo energy on the bottom of the deck. I'm also looking at Jupiter and Aquarius. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing you be in a spot where you're recognizing, if I stay in this position, then I am like fating myself to stay within this position. However, if I decide to move on, that means that I'm taking an opportunity that's coming for me, and I'm seeing you be in a space where you're working on moving on from something that's not working anymore and recognizing that you are responsible for this position that you are in. So whether you want to stay, that's your choice. Whether you want to try something else, that's also your choice too. And I'm seeing you working on healing. I'm seeing you feel more connected with yourself. You may also be in a space too where you are you're going to be keeping less track of what people are doing around you. Meaning you're recognizing that this is your like individual marathon that you are on, or this race that you're running, or this journey that you are moving through. And before, you could have been kind of like looking around you or even looking outside of you. And I'm seeing you kind of coming back to a space where you're like, I just want to learn from myself and what I'm doing and the progress that I'm making, rather than looking around and like comparing or needing to talk all the time about where I am and what I'm doing and check in with other people and what they think. Not that that's an issue, but for some reason it may have been something that was maybe making the progress slower for you. Maybe just within this particular area of your journey. Because it can even be... people may be curious about what you're up to, and you may be getting more private, is how I'm seeing this. These would be people that are like really interested in what you're doing. Very, very interested, very, very curious about like what you're working on, what you're doing, how things are going, where you are in your journey. But I'm seeing something isn't resonating with you, at least for right now, to be sharing or talking about. So again, I'm getting this notion of you doing something more privately. Private, yes. You could have even felt like you were oversharing before. Or that something just... Maybe it has to do with discernment too. Because you could have like had people that were coming through... I'm seeing like some sort of issue happen before, potentially with not using your discernment, not exercising it. And that creating like more of an issue, like it became something problematic, you would feel. Which I'm seeing you're also still dealing with, so you're like, I don't want to do that again and have this become like another thing that I have to address. So I'm seeing you be very, very mindful of who it is that you're working with. But this may have had you feel like you wanted to shy away from an opportunity because of how something went. But then I'm seeing you get to a point where as soon as you move through whatever issue this was that you were having, which looks like an interpersonal issue, maybe even being concerned with what somebody was doing or what was going on with them, it reminds me of like paying attention to somebody rather than like minding your business and just keeping on doing what you're doing. But to the point where something may have been regressive for you, you would see it as that. So I'm seeing you deal with something that needs to be dealt with, to address it, to recognize it. I'm seeing you pass through what looks like... I'm hearing high bar standard. It looks like a challenge. Kind of like a fence to find yourself over. And then I'm seeing us come back to you managing how to work through a collaboration. So there is somebody that you're connecting with, is how I'm seeing this. This is somebody that you're working closely with, or that you would be working closely with, and you may be trying to figure out how to make this possible. But at the same time, I'm seeing somebody, it's like you're getting really shy instead of going up to this person and talking to them. This is how I'm seeing it. And I mean, it can be a conversation that you're having. This can be like you using your voice in general, or you communicating something that you want to communicate, or voicing something that you want to communicate. But it looks like with other people, or somebody that you're working with, or somebody that you're connecting with. And I'm seeing like you have an opportunity. You're just trying to figure out how to get this done. And I'm seeing you also be in a space where you're like, I don't feel 100% about like going up to them and talking to them. So yeah, something's going on where you may not be saying something that you want to say. There's some issue with you initiating a conversation, or initiating saying something, or calling something out. Just coming out with whatever this is. Okay, what I'm seeing though is that as much as you may be feeling that way, where you like haven't gotten up the courage to do this, you may be worried too, like, how is this person going to take it, or like, what if they reject me, stuff like that. Yeah, it's again like a shot that you have a clear shot, you just may not be actually taking the shot, at least for right now. But then I'm seeing the Sun and the Strength card and the Page of Wands, which means you get to a space where you're like, you know what, I just need to be brave with this, I'm gonna go through with it. For some of you, this looks like it's connected with a business opportunity, a business venture. You may be like actually working with someone, having a conversation with them about that. Yeah, whatever this is, you are going to move through it and accomplish what you're aiming to accomplish, is what I'm seeing. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.